Well, I can tell it's a big victory for Simon Ekpa. I know Biafran government in exile. I know definitely that Ngozi Orebeze is not relenting in the struggle, to bring attach serious solidarity to the Biafran government in exile, in that regard. And subsequently, we have seen a lot of underground work going on, which I will not want to disclose on this platform. But the fact still remains that a huge relief now for this breaking news for Biafrans all over the world, and more especially dedicated to the resilient, self-acclaimed Biafran Prime Minister in exile, Simon Ekpa. Alexander, stop, has questions to answer with the congressman on how this judgment was constituted and carried out. And the US government has ordered for immediate review, given happenings that is going on in Nigeria. And most of the congressmen sees Simon Ekpa as a resistant voices to Fulani killing spree in Nigeria, and of course a major pillar on the struggle to realize Biafra in defense of series of Islamic government invasions that is taking place in almost all the regions of the nation called Nigeria, even though a lot of people don't want to agree that Nigeria is a country, not even to talk of being a nation. So I think that public hearing spearheaded and got attention of Ted Cruz, Raleigh Moore, and so many powerful US congressmen in that regard is actually what exposed and got the attention of the congressmen, and this thing was formally and officially relayed to the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, through the Chief of Staff, Susan Wills, who said it very clearly, that Donald Trump is ready to carry out, a thorough investigation on how the judgment was carried out against, Simon Ekpa, who is being seen, as a Biafran Finnish citizen. Let me just put it that way. But what our takeaway there is that the news has already gotten to Aso Rock, and all the people that was involved during that period, are already standing up for the impossibility, looking at what is actually going to happen now that the United States government is now trying to giraffe on illegalities and deals, crude oil, butter, that led to the conviction of Simon Ekpa in Finland, and that has brought the issue of attracting a certain level of penalty on Finnish government. And also we are hearing that the French government is also possibly, according to that report, was also involved. And we know how close Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the French government is. And of course, the French government is being seen to be very close to the Finnish president, Alexander Stubb, over the issue that is happening in Gaza and of course in Ukraine today. So there is no country that can accommodate the unfortunate moves, trying to see who is going to be a friend from the international community of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to continue to launder the image of Nigeria and maybe carrying out international mission on behalf of Nigeria. So these investigations now that and the committee that was actually set up by the United States of America is about to, I think they should be leaving to Finland now. And the Finland government is going to have an interface, with these delegates. And of course, there's plan that they are going to have a brief, interaction with the Finland, with the of course the Biafran government. Prime Minister in exile, Simon Ekpa, and after that brief, it is expected that they will be able to, pass a certain message to Asurog, and of course, more escalation and more international pressure and image damage on the side of Nigeria will begin to take a global dimension on so many criminality and atrocities that these people has actually committed against voices of resistance. You can see virtually in the north, in the west here, there is no pronounced voice that is checking and suppressing or fighting back this Islamic government in Nigeria, apart from Simon Ekpa and of course Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And willingly and unfortunately, the government of Nigeria has actually identified these powerful individuals of Biafran extraction as a major obstacle in achieving their mission. Now that these people have been with outside reach, let me put it that way, why is it that we are still experiencing killings in Nigeria? They attacked IPOB as a killing organization. They also mentioned Simon Ekpa, but now we are seeing real jihadists operating in disguise under the Islamic government of Nigeria, infiltrating regions. Look at what happened in Rivers State yesterday. Just at the back of Asari Dokubo's house, you can see the shooting that took place there. You can see what is happening in Abraka in Delta State. The same people. You can see what is happening in Asaba. The same people. You can see what is happening in Kwara. The same people. You can see what is happening in Oyo State. The same people. You can see Benue, Plateau, and Aziz, Middle Belt Aziz. We are still talking about the same people. Then, how did Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now came into the issue of insecurity in the eastern part of the country? That is the question. And I think they made it very clearly, that it is not going to be funny. Nigeria is going to fall into a trap that they will not be able to come out from as the world begin to see a lot of atrocities and criminality that has been going on behind the scene, behind the curtain, that the world did not know about. It is this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's unfortunate and illegal sentencing that exposed some certain part of this criminality, the atrocities that is happening in Nigeria. And also the issue of Reverend Ezekiel, who is being of exposing the other side too to the world, and of course the U.S. government too.
Facebook was deactivated. His Facebook was deactivated not too long ago. But
Of course. It's not a Facebook thing. I think if you really know whether it's deactivated or activated, in that regard, that does not actually matter. What matters now that the world has caught attention. It has attracted the world, on what, in fact, Nigeria is currently under surveillance. And most of the atrocities and criminality that took place over the years are now being reviewed by the most powerful nation in the world. And to an extension, calling on the judge and the Finland government to tender evidences of Simon Ekpa's judgment to the, of course, congressmen and of course the United States government. Wow! What a shame. What are we going to hear any moment from now? Nigeria is in a big mess. I think, you see, for some time now, the federal government of Asurog, let me just put it that way, might be in serious panic now. They cannot be able to face what is going to come to Nigeria if it starts happening. Because, the war seems to be gathering against Nigeria at this moment, because they have discovered that the reason why Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was totally clamped down, not because they committed any atrocity, but because they wanted this voice to be totally silenced, so that they will be able to carry out, destroy this secular structure in Nigeria, destroy Christendom in Nigeria, and be able to establish a state where all the entire governors in Nigeria will be Fulanese or Muslims, and thereby initiating Sharia and run clearly, significantly what is called Islamic government. And they saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa as the only obstacle to this plan. So they went after them. Now, the message has gotten very clearly as a result of that public hearing that took place in the United States of America, and reports that keep on coming, petitions from various organizations around the world, more especially the one coming from Dr. Masanga, who is bent. And also we are seeing Finn Bruce, the IPOB US-based lawyer, working seriously to get a global attention of the kind of thing that is playing out in Nigeria, which is being seen as a complete ethnic and genocidal clampdown on resistant Christian voices in Nigeria. Taking, for instance, the call to review the judgment that was passed against Simon Ekpa in Finland by Alexander Stubb-led government.
The truth is finally out. Now that the Finnish government has declared the CDS of Nigeria, Musa, a terrorist now, what is the next phase of the lie? What lies can the government tell Nigerians? Now that Simon Ekpa is no longer in the picture, because it has always been pictured that Simon Ekpa is the cause of insurgency in Southeast, and now that insurgency has stopped in Southeast, and now that the Finnish government has vindicated Simon Ekpa, that those sponsoring insecurity and terrorists in the country are those some persons in the military. Now, where would CDS Musa bury his shame? Because a group of people are saying we want to exit the country. Because the Igbos are saying they are tired of the contraption called One Nigeria. That this One Nigeria, it will not work. And then it has not been working. It has been a country full of lies, propaganda, and shame. That has always been how it is from. So I am not surprised that the Finnish government has now come out to say CDS Musa is a terrorist for all the atrocities he has been, for all the atrocities he has committed, in disguise of pretending to keep One Nigeria. And that One Nigeria has caused a whole lot of catastrophe in the country. Just some days ago, a notorious bandit that was declared wanted was seen in Katsina State with top government officials going for peace talk. Between Mazi Simon Ekpa and that terrorist, who is more deadly? But here we are today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. Kanu is still in detention because of the Igbophobia, of the hate. If Simon Ekpa happens to be from the Fulani extraction, Simon Ekpa would not be a terrorist. I can beat my chest because we've seen Fulani militias that have been given amnesty. We've seen Fulani militias that have been integrated into the society. Now that Finland are waiting to the ICC, Nigeria should immediately hand over CDS Musa for questioning, because the French government have done their own findings too, and they've seen that something is pushing under the ground, that this man has a connection with these Fulanis, has a connection with these bandits, has a connection with these terrorists. So if they are sincere, they should hand over CDS Musa to ICC for questioning. Because now that the Finnish government has done their own conclusion, I've seen that CDS Musa himself is not innocent in this. The Nigerians cannot pretend as if they are not aware that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how they tend to die the matter, it is in the social media space. Everybody has seen it that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how the Nigerian government want to die this matter, but they are very quick to declare Simon Ekpa and IPOB a terrorist group. Now that the Finnish government and the ICC has declared CDS Musa a terrorist, why is the story not online? Why is the story not flying online? Because they themselves are also part of people championing insecurity and terrorism in the country. And that is why I say that anybody that speaks against the vision of the country, they will do everything possible to take that person off the hook. They will do everything possible for them to take that person off the hook. That is why I see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention. And the Finnish government, they were so gullible to be used by the Nigerian government. They were just too gullible. Because if they were not gullible, why would a country like Nigeria come to tell you that Simon Ekpa is the one sponsoring insecurity all the way from Finland, and you sit your ass down in Finland and you believe them? But there are some rumors that the envelope also changed hand. You know Nigerian story now. You know Nigerian government, that Nigerian government, anything that Nigerian government cannot do to bribe does not exist. I am very sure that the government have bribed the Finnish courts, and that is why I see that Simon Ekpa was wrongfully accused and sentenced. Now that the appeal court is now coming out to reverse all your stuffs. It is now a very clear indication that Simon Ekpa is innocent of all the charges leveled against him, because the Finnish government has come out to indict CDS Musa, saying that CDS Musa is the major financier of insecurity in Nigeria, and it should be tried by ICC, not just local courts. It should be tried by ICC. Enough of all these presents. We know that this one Nigeria, it can never work. No matter how we tend to rub our heads, no matter how we tend to try to patch things up, that one Nigeria cannot work. And that has always been the current state of mind, that one Nigeria would not take us anywhere, and that it will not work. Today, the truth is not coming out. The truth is not coming out. Now, the list of people, ICC will publish names of people sponsoring banditry and sponsoring insecurity in Nigeria. Their names will be published. And when that is published, let's see how CDS Musa would escape it. Let's see how CDS Musa would escape the wrath. They have used kangaroo judgments to sentence Simon Ekpa. But today, The truth is not coming out. The truth is not out. That everybody knows the reason why insecurity is still thriving in Nigeria. And it's just because of one person that claims he is protecting the masses, rather underground, supporting the fight for terrorism. But the question is, how long can we continue to be deceived? How long can we continue to be deceived by the Fulanis? Don't forget that the CDS is a Fulani man. How long can we continue to be deceived by a Fulani man in our own country? And tomorrow you say that Biafra will not exist. Biafra will exist. No matter how we tend to hold it, Biafra would exist the country. No matter how we tend to keep it, Biafra would exist this country. And I am sure that Mazen Kanu and Simon Ekpa will come out strong, no matter how they tend to do all this rubbish. They will come out strong. If today is the first time of coming across this channel, please can you like this video, share it, comment for more political discourse. Thank you.